Ladies and gentlemen, Trackmania Grand League step number 9. Let's pretend that nothing happened before. We certainly did not have a delay before and we're not 36 minutes late. But we finally have step number 9 right here. And this one's gonna be a really exciting show. We have had a little bit of technical problems, but now we are back. And we still have the incredibly good looking man, Radiance.
Hello Riolu, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. It feels like nothing happened before. It's so great. It's so great.
It's so on time, 8 p.m. and everything. It's great.
Yeah, really nice. Absolutely amazing. So, are you looking forward to step number 9? We have this one and another one. How are you approaching these last 2 steps?
Oh, these last few steps are gonna be insane. It's a great battle right now between place number 7 and 10. So 4 people right now having a very good battle to see who will take home those 2 spots for the playoffs right now.
Exactly, the top 8 after step 10 will move into the playoffs of the Trackmania Grand League beta season. Right now it is Carl Jr. being the leader with 547 points, Pack on second, followed by Bren, Spam and Kappa in the top 5. Then we have Scrappy with 142, who is sitting there on position number 6. And then, as you said, the aforementioned very close pack, the players that are going to be fighting for the last 2 remaining spots in the playoffs. We have Cap with 117 points. The French player for Gamers Origin right now 3 points ahead of Austrian powerhouse Riolu for Team Polls. With 114 points right now, he is on the last available slots for the playoff. Then we have Papu on position number 9, who dropped down after the last step with 109 points right now. He's trailing 5 points behind Riolu. And then we have Massa, who is on a, growing amount of points on his account with 64 points right now. Keep in mind that Massa has stepped in after step number 5. So Massa has done quite some damage already, and he is motivated to move forward into the playoffs, Radiance.
Yeah, Massa is a man on a mission right now. Him going ham these last 2 steps is definitely something we have to look out for. I think he's going to take home a lot of points in this step, and especially in the next one if he trains really hard.
Yeah, he really has to, because there's no other chance of him getting anywhere close to the playoffs. So he needs to bust out the really good positions. It probably won't be enough to always take 8th or 7th or something, but he needs to get those big boy points. He needs to get those 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then maintain these points. Keep in mind, in the Trackmania Grand League, starting from map number 2, the players that are finding themselves on the bottom 8 positions, so position 9 and downwards, will lose all of the points that they have gotten beforehand. So that is something that really need to be kept in mind, especially for the players that are, in that close fight for the last 2 playoff slots. Because, everything that is kind of above 7th place, 6th place and onwards, I don't think they're gonna lose out on their playoff spot anymore. They just have way too many points. It's very unlikely that they're gonna be passed.
Yeah, definitely unlikely. I mean, it is still possible if they don't have either time to train or they just suddenly performs really poorly, and that's why I think Spam could be probably extra annoyed of what happened in step number 8, where he lost all his points on the last map after accumulated so many points, like 60 points or something, almost a fourth of what he's currently having right now, and that would definitely secure him a spot. So very unfortunate stuff for Spam, but let's see in this step, as there's 30 seconds left of the warm-up, what he can do today.
Yeah, we're gonna start here on our first map. It is gonna be our introduction map. It is gonna be Castle, a map that is grass-based. It has a little bit of dirt, it has a little bit of tarmac in there, so a little bit of everything. So all of the players can certainly benefit from 1 or 2 corners that they're, as extra good at in their specific style. So let's see what's gonna happen. GLHF, for those that are maybe just joining in right now, we had a little bit of technical problems, so we are starting a little bit late, and the server plugin is not loaded because we're playing on a different server with a different title pack. So the fancy overlay with all of the information will not be available for step number 9, but that is not going to take away a great race. So we're going to start here with the first 10 laps. 15 players are going to be competing right here. 1 player is missing, it is the Burst, but other than that, everyone is ready to kick it off in lap number 1, and we have Dexter already with a first mistake. Thanks for pointing that out. Dexter already with a big time loss. But all of the others are still very well close to each other. Impossible to call who is going to go into lap number 2 as the leader. It is a 4-man battle for first place right now. Massa in the lead, followed by Spam, Bren, and Scrappy. You can see the positions on the left side. Dropping down onto the dirt now. We have 10 laps. You can see it in the top right corner. And this fight is incredibly close so far.
Incredibly close so far in this top 6
Oh,
already. Oh, who
Scrappy!
made a mistake? I think
that was a huge hit.
Scrappy.
Yep.
Scrappy making a huge mistake, dropping down into 8th place now. Even further, going down into 11th place. And now it's just a battle for top 5 between Bren, Massa, Carl, Spam, and Pack. Who's going to have better speed? Spam currently in the lead on lap number 2.
We're going into the next drop onto the platform. Gonna avoid the pillars and all of the obstacles. Maintain as much speed as possible. We're currently following Papu, who is coming a little bit closer. Massa with a very weird trajectory through that right-hander. Got a little bounce from the Randstein, but he's still very well in there. Papu closing into Spam, who's going for a very tight approach around the dirt corner. Goes very tight with a Neo slide around the left-hander. Spam still keeping hold of that 5th place. And it is Bren that is now up in the lead together with his teammate Carl Jr. So we have the double lead for Team Solary right now. But it is Massa, the German, for Team Big, who is now about to overtake Carl Jr. dropping down into the dirt. And he also comes closer to Bren. So Massa definitely on a roll, and he wants the points. He needs the points. And he comes a tiny bit closer with every single corner, Radiance.
Yeah, Massa just catching up to Bren right now, but that is an intentional line, it seems. I thought he no-slid there, but
yep.
Something that Massa maybe has practiced, and it might be a little bit faster. He is 0.2 behind Bren right now, with Carl close in his rearview mirrors. Oh, he goes a little bit wide, has to adjust his line slightly, but that loses so much speed for him, and that actually lets Carl Jr. past him right now. So Massa down into 3rd place. Massa with a big mistake, and that's going to drop him down into maybe even 8th place now, as Bren is looking very solid right now, half a second ahead of his teammate Carl Jr. Pack, though, with a little more speed than Carl Jr. now, coming up into that L for 2nd place, and Carl Jr. with a big touch, and that's going to drop him down. So Bren even further ahead now, and Pack close behind, or not even close actually. It's half a second still of a lead that Bren is accumulating.
Oh, and the double mistake!
And Carl Jr. goes up into 2nd.
It is a double mistake by both Pack and Spam in the very same sector of the track, both making contact with the red support pillars of the castle of the inflatable IKEA item right there. So it will be the double lead for Solary once again, and they have a massive lead now over the 2 Gamers Origin players. So we have 2 Solaries in the top 2, and then followed by 2 Gamers Origin, Spam on 5, Kappa in a fight with Massa. Massa now with a strong aggressive line right there, trying to get himself in front, and now that was Pack, who makes another mistake in the very same section. So another mistake in lap number 7 by the British player. Pack down to P10. So we have 2 Gamers Origins in the red positions right now. And a lot of mistakes happening here on the introduction map.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes so far. Bren also pulling off a small no-brainer on the dirt turn, letting Carl Jr. catch up to him a little bit. And then he touches the castle support thing, the red one.
Yeah.
As he drops down even further now, half a second for a gap between Bren and Carl Jr. now. Both Solary players are really going to be happy with their performance right now, as it is a close battle for first now. Almost losing a full second from that one mistake.
Indeed, but we also have a very tight fight here for position number 4. We have Kappa, Spam, and Massa, who are very close to each other, but as I say that, it is Massa that makes contact with the inside wall. Scrappy with a mistake, and also Pack with a mistake. So 2 players making a mistake in the castle section once again in lap number 9. So that section is really difficult to get right, and you see so many mistakes happening right there. So more players are constantly losing points and essentially time in that section. So it will be the double lead for Team Solary, and I don't think they're gonna lose that one anymore. Bren is more than 1 second ahead of Carl Jr. The triple world champion is on 2nd place, holds himself strongly in front of Papu, and then he flips and is not able to reach the checkpoint. He has to completely reset. Papu was on P3, and in the last lap he throws everything away. This is unbelievable. Bren will win this race in front of Carl Jr. Kappa on 3, Spam on 4, Danik B on position 5. That is really good for him. Rollin on 6. Pack on 7, Massa on 8, Scrappy on 9, Cap on 10, Bits on 11, Papu on a really disappointing 12th place right there for him. That is really gonna put a big dent into his confidence right there. Then we have Dunster on 13, Machi on 14, and Dexter taking last. So all of the players have finished, but what a race this was. I have never seen that crazy of an intro map.
Yeah, and a really great battle, that one section where you have to go really tight on the grass, actually causing havoc for every single one of the players except for Bren, crashing into that little red rope right there, and either full stopping or turning their car around or doing something that they aren't supposed to be doing, and that just proves that Bren saving it a little bit more than he probably would if it was a close battle actually causes him to take home a victory here and 100 euros.
Yeah, so congratulations to Bren, who is the winner of map number 1. As you said, 100 euro for each map win. So that is a little extra motivation for the players to, yeah, maybe risk it a bit more and go for those juicy 100 euro into their pockets. Next map right here, this is the forest. So this is gonna be the map that has been quite controversial in step number 8, to say the least. This is the map that has cucked pretty much everyone. And the reason for that were very difficult pipes that the players had to navigate through. However, as you can see, the pipes are gone. This map has been fixed. This map is now a lot easier. It is a lot more consistent. So this map is fixed. And this is, in my opinion, how the map should have been in first place. So this is now going to be the new version of the forest. The map which probably brought Spam a couple of nightmares after last Sunday. But hopefully he has recovered well, since this map has been diffused.
Diffused. I see what you did there. And, I mean, he definitely has some nightmares about this one, and the pillars are now gone. So hopefully we will see a lot less crashes and a lot more consistency throughout this map right now. And I can't wait to see how this is gonna go, because now the difficult part is not the middle section with the poles. The difficult part is, can you actually full speed the ending that is the so-called forest of pillars?
Exactly, it is our identity. The map is called the forest, and this is going to be our forest of pillars that the players have to navigate through as quickly as possible. Multiple lines are viable. I see many players that are going for slightly different approaches. Let's say Roland goes one pillar earlier to the left as opposed to, let's say, Dunster. So we have many different lines, all of them kind of leading to the same result. So it is mostly a matter of preference. Of course, there are some, let's say, riskier lines and some maybe safer lines. But all in all, this is going to be the section where we will definitely see a couple of mistakes. And if a mistake happens here, it is going to be almost a guaranteed full stop. So that is something that you really want to avoid as a player, because it will cost you a lot of time to make a mistake in this section, since the remaining of the track now without the pipes is pretty easily manageable. We only have the quarter pipe jump through the ring checkpoint right here, which is still pretty easy to get right all in all. So we definitely need to keep a close eye on the forest.
Yeah, actually, Riolu, did you see the small cut? I don't know if it's a cut, it's more like a trickster that was found for that ring checkpoint. People can actually hit the ring checkpoint, then get the checkpoint and land even faster, saving a 0.5 of a second time.
Yeah,
and
I did.
That's really an insane trickster, and if we have a very close battle up in the front, we might actually see it being used and maybe trying to secure those 100 euros.
Another approach that I saw from Short's video presentation that has been uploaded earlier to YouTube, Dexter almost did it actually. But what you can also do is don't make any contact with the ring. But oh, yeah. Bren, thank you! Merci! Bren has actually shown what I was trying to explain. So you can actually take the ring from the bottom. Like, you don't jump above the ring, but you stay low all the time. So that is something... Oh, Scrappy just did it as well. So this is exactly what can yield you that little time advantage. In the meantime, we can actually take a look at the map preview as well before we forget. We still have 1 minute 20 on the clock, so we can maybe do that as well.
Yeah.
Alright, our videos of course made by the one and only Pikes, so shout out to him as well. We are about to start map number 2. The point score is sadly not available to us right now, but we will find out eventually, I hope, since we are playing on a different server that is not able to display the points as normal. So we just gotta deal with it and go for our second map right here. 10 laps once again on map number 2 on the forest. And this is gonna be a really, really good one as well. Let's follow Bren, our winner of map number 1, through the first lap right here. Let's see if he's actually gonna go for the lower trajectory. No, he doesn't. It is maybe a little bit too risky because...
Oh, Scrappy went for it.
Oh yeah, Scrappy went for it. As I said, it is risky, it is viable. But I wonder if Scrappy is actually going to be someone to do it in every other 10 laps, because it is really risky, and if you don't make it, then you lose out on so much time, because the respawn is really, really far away. Is it really worth to gain the half a second that you get from that trajectory? I don't think so.
I mean, if you ask Danik B right now, it's definitely not worth it, as he's finding himself 3 CBs behind already, and it's about 15 seconds.
Oh,
so,
Scrappy full stopped in the forest, ladies and gentlemen. A full stop for the man that has been putting a lot of effort into making lap 1 a good one. Oh, Bren with a really, really awkward landing right there, but he was able to stabilize and is still very well in the race.
Bren now actually taking the low jump into the ring checkpoint, so it is about the trajectory that you get from the previous jump with that ring that is located just before the quarter pipe. So I think we're gonna see if they go over the Rammstein on the on that first jump into the quarter pipe. They're probably not gonna go for the lower jump. But what a battle we are having right now for top 5 between yeah, you can see on the left with the live CP counter, Carl Jr. jumping up into first place, just closely followed by Massa. But Massa with a better line through the start-finish line section of the map will take over first place once again.
We're coming towards the 3rd time of jumping through the ring checkpoint. It is Bren that goes for the low jump again, and look how much time he saved. He goes up to first place after being super far back on position number 5. So Bren, with really well executed risk right there, pushes himself up to first place, and now he is in the mix right there for the victory, together with his teammate, once again, Carl Jr. up in front, together with Massa, who's also trying to have a saying with Pack, Kappa, and Spam. Cap is a little further behind, so we have the top 6 right now that are 0.5 away from each other. So this is so close. This is
Bren.
Insane.
Small mistake from Bren there, dropping down from 1st into 4th place because they're so close to each other, but nothing too bad. Pack also with low speed throughout that start-finish section. He drops down into 5th place, actually 6th place, as Spam overtakes him as well. And different trajectories here from that first jump. You can see, will Bren go for the low jump? He will, but does he have the right angle?
Yep.
He does have the right angle. And it is very close. You can see 0.04 of a second between the both of these Solary players right now. So it is going to be neck and neck for these players throughout the whole forest map.
A really great performance by all of the players so far. None of the top 6 have really made any sort of mistakes or any bigger mistakes. So everyone is really up to par right here. Everyone is on the same level. And yeah, this map did get a lot easier without the pipe. So now it is really about consistency and about avoiding those mistakes. In the forest section, Carl Jr. Carl Jr. has dropped out of the forest right there. And he's going to drop down to 8th place, so he's still in the green. He is in front of Roland, who is 7.1 seconds behind, but that was a massive mistake by Carl Jr., something that we don't really see that often from him. But as you said early in the cast, Carl Jr. is maybe someone that is going for the 100 euros now.
Yeah, definitely. Him making mistakes like that is definitely something unusual. So let's see if he can keep this 8th place. Roland just behind him right now, but it is now Bren once again up in the lead, pretty much by himself. Paco coming a little bit closer, and Massa there as well. But it's looking very good for Bren right now. He is definitely trained a lot for this step.
Where's Bits? Where did Bits jump? Did you see Bits? He was just coming out of nowhere. He just came from the top somewhere. He just dropped back onto the track. I don't know what he was doing there. But Bits is just trying to, I don't know, photobomb the race right here. But
I mean, he is a minute behind already.
Yeah, exactly. So he is not really
gonna... Oh, Bren with the respawn!
Bren
with the respawn!
Ooh.
He has not made that ring jump, and then that means it's a 15-second deficit right now for Bren. So Bren dropping down to 8th place, even 9th, even lower actually.
Yep, Bren is down to 11th place, Radiance.
11th place now, and he took home 1st place, so he definitely wants to get a top 8 position. And that is going to be a catch-up duty for him now.
Absolutely, and I really wonder why Bren went for that, because it's just not worth it. As I said, it gains maybe half a second at most to do the low jump. If it doesn't work, you lose 15 whole seconds. So, I don't know, the risk to reward ratio isn't really viable for this track, I would say. So, Bren sadly now dropping down to 11th place, and he really needs to hope for a lot of mistakes in front of him to happen. Ooh, Massa, I was just putting the camera up to him, and Massa made contact with the ring mid-air, but he's still keeping there himself on position number 2. He is 0.6 behind Pack, so Pack about to make some bank again. Spam on 3rd is trying to redeem himself for what happened in step 8 on this track. Of course, it was a completely different version of the track, but then again, it is Spam who wants to show that he can do better than that. And the 3rd place, I believe, is going to be pretty good for him, especially now that big opponents like Carl Jr., like Scrappy, and like Bren have actually dropped down to really low positions.
Yeah, definitely. Big opponents, you're saying. Massa now actually 1 second behind Pack, so Pack with a comfortable lead, and I believe he is going for the high ring jump to maybe save it a bit more. Yes, he is. Massa as well, and pretty much everyone in the top 5 after him are going into the into that ring checkpoint jump with a safer approach, as they know it is not worth it. But it is all about Bren right now actually catching up, and he is starting to go for that safe approach as well now. So definitely learned from his mistake. Currently in 10th place though, and he has a lot of catching up to do still.
Yeah, the thing with Bren is now he would need the risky approach more than he needed it before his mistake. So now he really needs to push it, and he needs to gain 6 seconds up to 8th place, which is occupied by Scrappy right now. He sees Dunster in front of him, so maybe Bren can go for the overtake on Hyperion Dunster. We are coming into lap number 9. But then again, a 9th place would not be enough, and Bren would lose the 20 points that he has gained on map number 1, which would be very sad. So let's check in later. Do we have any other close fights right here going on? I think everyone is kind of set in stone right now with his positions.
There's a fight for 4th place right now between Kappa and Cap.
Indeed, let's take a look at that.
Very close right now, going into that the pole section, if you could say it like that, that has been remade. Kappa with a little more speed out of the previous corner, and he will gain a little more as Cap has a small bounce from the transition. Coming up into this forest, let's see who has it trained better. Is it Kappa or is it Cap? Seems like Cap is going for a different trajectory, as you said in the start. And onto lap 10 we go. So one more lap for Brent to catch up, and he's in 13th place, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think he kind of gave up on this one. He lost additional time, so now Bren is definitely out of this one, which is very sad, so he needs to say goodbye to his 20 points. But let's take a look here at the front. Massa is still 0.8 behind, and I don't really see him catching up this much unless Pack makes a mistake in the forest section, so let's take a look at that. We are in lap number 10. The second half, the race is about to end. The top 3 right now occupied by Pack, the British player for Team Gamers Origin. Then we have the German for Big and Diffuse Kit Spam from the Netherlands on position number 3. Massa now going through the forest section. Everyone is avoiding the poles, and it looks like the top 3 will be setting their positions like this through the finish line. Pack wins in front of Massa and Spam. Kappa on position number 4, Cap on 5. Carl Jr. now only 6th place for him. 7th place for Scrappy. Papu on 8. Dexter actually up to 9th place. He has passed Dunster by 0.7 right in front of the end. Rollin with another, I would say, not very expected result. I expected Rollin to be somewhere at the front, but he is 18.9 seconds behind, so only 11th place for Mr. Rollin. Danik B on 12, Machi on 13. Bren completely died at the end of the race. 14th place for him, and Bits is trolling.
Bits is trolling, indeed. You are so correct there. But keep in mind, Rolling has a very close battle for top 8, and him not doing that well in these first 2 maps. That can really put him very far behind in that battle that they are currently having. He got 6th in the first map, but now 11th place. That's going to reset his points. So very unfortunate stuff for Rolling, and he probably needs to do a little bit better in these upcoming 3 maps, which are of course all new. No, wait. No, map number 3 is not new. This one we had already.
Indeed.
But map number 4 and 5, Roland should have trained those a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to be able to make it happen. I was actually having a little talk with Roland not too long ago, and I was like, hey, Roland, if you want to stay safe for the playoffs, you need to take it safe. So I don't know if on the previous map he took it too safe and then he just kind of lost track of his actual lines and just kind of continued making mistakes, or if it's just not his day. You never know. It's always like a daily thing sometimes as well, the way how you feel in a day, you know? It's like, it really varies sometimes, and maybe today it's just not that great of a day for Roland, and yeah, let's see if he's going to be able to catch up from his deficits that he got on map 1 and map number 2. Our third map, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Shove It, the map by John, a map that we have seen in step number 8 already, the map with the 180 spin through the checkpoints. Let's take a look at the map preview, and in the chat there's actually a very valuable link for the current point standings if you want to take a look at that. Shoutouts to Cam for making it happen. We have seen it already, thank you very much. But let's take a look here at the map preview. Alright, so this is our map that we are gonna see now after the 3-minute warm-up. This is a very technical track, I would say. This one is a lot of fun for the players. I heard mostly positive things about this track made by John, who was a competitive player back in the days. Now a little bit stepped back, but still was able to produce this very nice map for us in the Trackmania Grand League. So as I said, this is gonna be all around the 180 degree spin around the checkpoints right here, which is going to be forced for the players, so the players have to do this 180 spin, and this is, I would say, manageable. I wouldn't say it's too difficult, it's not too easy. I think the balance in terms of difficulty is pretty good here, so let's see what the players are going to be doing right here on this map. For the remaining of the map, there are mostly just drifts. It is not going to be too difficult, since most of these players that are competing are very familiar with drifting, with the tech style here in Trackmania 2 Stadium. So this map, I believe, is going to be giving us some very close fights, similar to what we saw in the beginning of the second map on the forest, where everyone was actually really close to each other, Radiance. Like, everyone was, I think, within half a second in the top 6 in the beginning, which is really, really crazy if you think about it. Then later on it went a little like an accordion. It went like a little further apart between each player. But yeah, I think we're gonna see something similar here on this map. In the previous step, it was quite close between many players in the top. So let's see what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what's gonna happen. I saw a couple of the guys complain that they were tired already. Like, physically they wanted to go to bed, but that cannot stop them from playing this game. And let's hope that they will be able to perform optimally, even though they are a little bit tired. But there is 1 minute to go of this warm-up, and then we will be underway with map number 3 of step 9 here in the TMGL. I hope everybody is having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I have, at least.
That is very nice to see. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have this fancy plugin that is giving us player information and the fancy scoreboard on the left side. So this time we're kind of vanilla due to a couple of server problems that we have early on in the step. But we gotta go with the flow, Radiance, and right now we at least have some proper racing. So let's see. Who's maybe your favorite for this map? Who do you think is going to take it?
100% honesty. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, that BM though.
I think Bren has been performing super good. I mean, I think Bren, if he doesn't make big mistakes, I think whoever saves the 180 degree is going to do at least a top 8 here. As if you are crashing in that 180 degree turn, you're losing about 15 to 20 seconds, and that's really not optimal. But we are live now, Riolu.
Exactly, let's kick it off. We have 10 laps once again. We are following Roland, who, as I said, is a little disappointing with his performance this time around. He's one of the players, as you said, Radiance, that are feeling a little tired. So maybe that is the main reason for his rather weak performance this step. And this is exactly not what he needs. Because he really needs those points, and right now he is also off to a pretty weak start. Already lost out on 0.6 in the first 30 seconds of the race, but we are coming closer to the identity of this track. We are coming closer to the 180 spin. Let's take a look here with the T-Tours camera. Right now, very, very close between all the players. Anyone making a mistake? So far, everyone's making it. Dexter making contact with the outside wall, but other than that, everyone has survived.
Everyone's surviving indeed, yeah. Scrappy up into first place now after lap number 1. Actually, I'm trolling a little bit. It is Kappa and Peck and Scrappy all within 1/10 of each other, and that is very good to see. So close battle in the front as it has been on all of the previous maps so far. So it seems like the maps are going that way, and there you can see a different approach to that section right there. Some people are skipping the freewheel, and Kappa actually skipping the freewheel jumps ahead up into first place. It seems like he has figured it out, and as he gains 0.3 of a second right there, but he loses a little bit
again.
in that next section, yeah.
Indeed, Kappa lost it again, had to lift off a little bit, so now he's gonna go into the full speed section with a little bit of a speed deficit. Now we have the 180, the camera is on the fuse kit Spam, and he avoids the wall. Massa! Massa is out! He flipped after making contact with the wall on the outside. Massa is most likely out of this race already. As you said, a mistake in this section costs you 15 plus seconds. Massa is, I think, not going to play a role in this race anymore.
Oh, 15 seconds behind, actually on the dot 15 seconds, so pretty good estimate by me, I'd say. As Papu now is up in the lead, a different trajectory compared to Pack. Let's see how it goes. Actually, Papu hits the freewheeling anyways, and that's going to cost him a lot. As that's going to drop him down even further into 9th place, it seems. As Danik B is now close behind to him right now into the 180 degree. We go this full speed section now. Not hitting that white block right there. Is anyone going to make the mistake? Everyone so far has made it.
Ooh, Danik B.
Oh, Danik B though.
Danik B
and
also Dexter.
Dexter as well.
Wow, everyone is falling apart
Dexter
right here.
did get the CP, but he was upside down, so unfortunate for him having to respawn anyways. And did Massa make it this time? He did make it this time. So, of course, all the other players can still make mistakes, and that is going to benefit Massa a lot. But he has to rely on luck at the moment now.
Absolutely.
Because he is just too far behind.
Yeah, Massa, I'm a bit surprised that he made this mistake because he felt pretty comfortable on this track last time around. In the last step, he had a pretty good race here on this track. So I'm a little surprised by Massa, especially now knowing that he needs those points, right? He needs to get those points. If he doesn't get the points, he's not going to qualify for the playoffs. So it is really, really important. Maybe it's a little bit of a pressure thing right now for Massa, knowing that he needs to perform 100%. That maybe got him a little bit there. But going into the race, we are in lap number 4, coming closer to lap number 5. It is Kappa who is the leader of the race. It is a back and forth right here between a lot of players in the front. I've seen Papu, who was in the lead for a moment, then dropped down to 8th. And then it was Kappa who was up to first place for a brief moment. So it is actually a back and forth right here for the lead of map number 3. Kappa in first, followed by Scrappy and Spam, rolling up to 4th place. So this is the performance that we are used to see from our Austrian powerhouse 4-team Pulse. He is actually shooting himself up to 3rd place. Spam, who is opting for a different approach for the freewheel. As I said earlier, Radiance, there are different approaches, and it is mostly about personal preference. I believe that skipping the freewheel is a little bit faster because it gives you more exit speed. But yeah, at the end of the day, many players have many different preferences. Cap
yeah,
now?
many different preferences.
Yeah. Small
He
mistake
saved
like
it
that.
at least.
He's
Yeah,
fine.
he saved
he's
it at
fine.
least.
What? I DC'd?
Wait, you.
What?
Unfortunate stuff for him. Meanwhile, I can explain in voice what is going on. It is still an incredible battle with top 8 right now, all within 1.5 seconds of each other, and it seems like you have rejoined now. But Kappa now actually shooting himself up into the lead with 0.8 of a second. Deficit down to Roland, who is in second place now. So Roland with a couple of good corners actually jumped up into second place, but Kappa looks super strong right now.
Yeah, sorry for this little issue. I don't know what happened there, since it seems like I'm the only one who DC'd from the server. So Thank you for backing up, Radiance. We are in lap number 6, and I'm following Scrappy right now, who is approaching the 180 spin. Gets it very, very low. Brand making contact with the wall on the outside. That is gonna give him a little of a speed disadvantage going into the next drift section to the right here. Carl Jr. also not in the lead right now. Normally we always see Carl Jr. top 1, top 2, top 3. But now this time around, Carl Jr. maybe knowing he's safe, knowing that he doesn't really have to practice a lot, maybe that is causing his slightly worse performance this time around. What do you think, Radiance? Is it a lack of practice, or what's happening with Carl Jr. right now? Oh, Cap with a mistake. Very, very low speed up the hill. But yeah, question stands.
Yeah. I think the Carl Jr. issue is he's just trolling around on the stream doing RPG maps for like 3 days straight instead of practicing TMGL super hard as he's done in the previous steps, because he knows he's safe with an over 200 point lead down to second place, even 400 points down to 8th place. So he is definitely safe here and might not practice as much as he would have in the first couple of steps. And it definitely shows, but he's not in the bottom half of the pack anyway. So, I mean, if he still keeps up a good performance and doesn't choke way too hard, he will still be in it for like a couple €100 maybe.
Yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. We have 2 more maps coming up after this one. We are in lap number 8, and Roland is actually up to P2 right now, even though he does get overtaken by Spam, who takes advantage from the more exit speed that he gets by skipping the freewheel. So Spam now up to P2, and it is Kappa that is playing out of his mind. He's 2.6 seconds ahead. It seems like Kappa has no opponents on this track whatsoever. Kappa is really showing what he's capable of on this track. He is continuing to perform outstandingly, and compared to his performance in the first couple of steps, this is a difference between day and night. Because we have seen a Kappa in the first couple of steps who made mistakes, who didn't practice, who just went into it with a, not really that serious mentality. And now he beats everyone by miles. So Kappa is really doing well. We are going in lap number 9, and I don't think Kappa is going to lose out on this one. So the people that we have to look out for are the players that are fighting for P2.
Yeah, and as you mentioned in the start of the TMGL stream here at 8 PM, of course, was that he is in a battle for that TMGL playoff spot between 4 players, and him taking home a 3rd place on map number 1, a 4th place on map number 2, and then, as it seems right now, a 1st place on this map right now. If he can avoid getting 9th place or below, that would actually be so huge for Kappa, taking home pretty much a secure spot in the TMGL playoffs, and then it will be a 3-way battle between all the other players. But we're gonna go into lap number 10 now. Kappa with a very significant margin of a lead. So if he doesn't mess up that full speed section, I think it is safe and sound that he is going to take home this victory, as it is a battle for second between Spam and Riolu.
But between Spam and Riolu? Ah, I didn't know Riolu was playing.
Spam and Roland.
I didn't know Riolu was playing. I thought he's the spectator man here. But okay, I guess it is Riolu now on position number 3 from Austria. Now, all jokes aside right here. All jokes aside. We have the fight here between Spam and Roland, of course, who is struggling a little bit with the approach. Rolly! Oh, dear Lord in heaven. I got a heart attack right there. Roland has lost the position. Scrappy is taking advantage from that little mistake. Cap now with the attack on the inside. We come to the ending right now. Roland has more speed, but Scrappy will take advantage, and Scrappy will take that 3rd place away from Roland. Very unfortunate mistake for Roland, but it is Kappa that wins and is very happy about his €100, as you can see in the chat. Spam on 2nd second place, also gonna be very happy about this one. Scrappy on 3, Roland on 4, Cap on 5, Carl Jr. on 6, Papu on 7, Pack on 8, and then we have Massa, who was not able to get into the green. Massa will lose all of his points. He got on to position number 9. Another big surprise to point that out is Bren. Bren again with 12th place. I think he's tilted, Radiance.
I think he might be a little bit tilted after a couple of mistakes on that first or on that in the start of that second map. And I think he just needs to reset his mind and just start driving safe, because you know he's good enough to just drive safe and maybe take home an 8th place. And I mean, he is number 3 overall, so the safe approach might not be what he's going for right now. But it is, of course, if he wants 100 euros, he's going to risk it for the biscuit. But if he makes one mistake, at least on this map, it is definitely over. And he did make a mistake in that 180-degree turn.
Again, he made a mistake in map 2 and now also in map 3. So this is not something that we are used to see from Bren. So let's see what's going to happen on the 2 new maps in the rotation. We have 2 brand new maps in the rotation coming up for you. The first one is going to be Skipping Stones by Superall and AO. This is a map that will of course be presented with a fancy T-Tours video presentation made by Pikes. So, this one is a very, very nice map in my opinion. A very versatile map that is offering a lot of spots to lose or gain time for the players. The identity right here is of course gonna be the second half. We have an upwards jump up a sculpture where you want to land as early as possible with as much grip as possible. Then dropping down onto the next platform right here, onto the next sculpture, going into the blue part, carry on a lot of speed and then jump over the water pool into the next lap. So I wouldn't say this is a particularly difficult map this time around. This is, I would say, very manageable for most players. There aren't really a lot of places where you can really lose a lot of time. The only massive time loss that can happen is when you make a mistake here in this aforementioned identity section. If that happens, then you will have to respawn from this checkpoint and you have to drive a completely different route. So that's maybe not what you want to go here in this race. But other than that, I think this map is definitely gonna be manageable.
Definitely manageable if you've practiced. And I'm just looking at Dexter here. It seems like this is the first time he actually looks at the map. So I wouldn't expect something too big for him, but it is a very manageable map, as you said. Not too difficult, but if you screw up with the identity, you're gonna lose a couple of seconds at least. And we definitely wanna be watching that part right there, because it is a pretty tight jump, and then a couple of small drifts that is very easy to screw up. And I'm just excited to see how this 4-man battle for that 8th place and 7th place even is gonna go, because Kappa is looking so strong right now.
Yeah, the performance that he showed on map 3 was absolutely outstanding. It was a really, really great run. In the chat, I think he said that he made 2 mistakes, which is, yeah, almost nothing. on the long run.
Yep.
Considering that we play for 10 laps on this high level under this very high pressure situation. It is a really, really great performance by Kappa, and this is exactly what you would expect from a 2018 World Champion. And yeah, I'm very happy to see Kappa finally being successful. He was very happy about getting the 100 euros, so definitely nice to see him finally being able to clock something in as well. And yeah, other than that, I'm hoping that Bren will be able to do something as well, since he was definitely underperforming so far in this step. And yeah, I think this map and the other one, the next one, which is coming up, the last map of this evening, these two maps are going to be giving us really close fights, because the maps are considerably easier, with not really too many parts where you can really mess up big time. So the races are going to be really, really close, so prepare.
Yeah, this is also a multi-style map, so there is a little bit of dirt on it, and there is a little bit of grass as well. So the players, of course, they will need to know, as Scrappy pulled off pretty good there, how to transition from road into dirt, and vice versa.
Yep.
As that is going to be a pretty vital part, because if you don't land with all 4 wheels at the same time, you are going to lose out on a lot of speed, or the angle will definitely not be perfect. And all of your competitors will probably do it. So if you don't have that trained, it is going to be going to put you back by a fairly big margin.
Exactly, very well said, Radiance. Here we go into map number 4, Skipping Stones. I'm gonna follow Carl Jr., who also has been a little underperforming. I would say both Solary players have not shown what they are originally capable of, and have not shown what they did show in previous steps of the Trackmania Grand League. So let's take a look here at Carl Jr., who is off to a smooth start together with the others. And whoa, Pack? Oh wow, Pack already down by multiple seconds. Have you seen what happened to him? I actually completely missed it.
Yeah, on that small transition where you have to jump a little bit and turn to the left, he actually clipped the inside of the wall, and that's going to put him down by 3.5 seconds already by lap number 1, not even being halfway done. So very unfortunate stuff for Pack now, as he has a lot of catching up to do.
Definitely, but lucky for him, there's 10 laps, of course, left to be played. So Pack definitely being routined and fast enough to recover from that mistake. We are going up the sculpture. No one in the top 8, top 9, top 10 has made a mistake here. So let's take a look. Now everyone is jumping over the water. Everyone makes the jump perfectly. And Dunster, unfortunately, full stop. I missed it as well. He was actually behind my camera, so I missed out on him. But Dunster already multiple seconds down. This is a mistake that you should definitely avoid. So Dunster now 11 seconds behind.
Yeah, unfortunate stuff for him. It's not going to be a lot of points for him on this map, as we are into lap number 2. Currently, Kappa as well is in a very big battle, as you predicted in the start. It is a neck-and-neck battle between pretty much top 5 right here, as they are all within 0.2 of a second of each other, and that is going to be a back-and-forth battle. Carl Jr. actually going for a small Rammstein skip there, as you can do some shenanigans. I believe it is first introduced in the, is it A2, where you do it to gain a lower jump,
correct,
and then hitting the ground a little bit quicker, and that is going to boost you forward a little bit compared to what your competitors are doing.
Massa makes contact with the sculpture mid-air, but he was able to stabilize, and that was actually a brilliant save by the German player. That could have gone really, really badly. So Massa did not even lose out on a whole second. So that was a great save by Massa. He is gonna be having a very, very fast heartbeat right now, I believe, at this point, since that was a really, really Monka-esque situation right there for a big Massa. But he's still in the race, finding himself on P7 right now. Gets a little bit of an awkward transition down the dirt, and also here goes for a very tight line. This is a turn where he can actually get hit by a gear down, and I believe this is exactly what happened to Massa, since Bren is now going for an overtake here with a lot of more speed. Bren now up to 7th place, inherits that one from Massa, but in the lead it is still incredibly close. Following Spam, who is sitting there on P5. In the lead it is Papu and Carl Jr. Actually surprised to see Papu up front.
Yeah.
Battling it out against Carl Jr. Then it is Kappa on 3, Scrappy on 4, and Spam on 5. Dropping down again here onto the sculpture. This time everyone is avoiding it. Want to get either an auto slide down or manually trigger a slide on the blue part in order to get around the corner. Everyone makes it. We are going into lap number 4, and it is still very, very close. 0.7 between 1st and 5th.
0.7 between 1st and 5th place indeed, and there's a 0.15 of a second between 1st and 2nd right now. Papu actually being in the top here. I would say if he gets a top 3 position, he has the potential to take home a lot of points. Because of course the final map of this step is a dirt map, and a fairly simple one actually, apart from the identity. So it is going to be a Papu element track, and he's definitely going to be looking to take home those 20 points on that map. But yeah, he is only 0.10 behind Carl Jr. right now. Carl Jr. in the lead, and they have actually accumulated a half a second lead down to Scrappy in 3rd place. So if they can keep this up, that would be very good for those two guys.
Yeah, they're doing really, really well. I'm still taking a look here at Kappa, who is trying to contest Spam and Scrappy for the positions right here. A little bit of a different trajectory. Papu now losing out on a lot of speed. Must have been a little bit of a gear down, or maybe just completely off the line. Had to adjust his line, so Papu was up in the lead, but now has to fight himself against all of the other players again. Spam, Scrappy, Papu himself, and Kappa still very, very close to each other. Massa is on 7th. He is creeping in closer together with Roland. The two German-speaking players are trying to, yeah, lurk in the shadows and maybe hope for a mistake to happen up front, because that might be the only way to catch up on a rather simple map like this, where it is very difficult to catch up time. It is very difficult to make up time, but it is very easy to lose time. That is a little bit of a twist that comes with these maps, where you don't really have a lot of these, let's say, massive fuck-up parts.
Onka S, the F word being used on the on the Mania Planet stream.
Oh
Riolu,
boy.
what are you doing?
Oh boy.
You dropped the bomb. But yeah, Pack now actually up into only 10th place now, so he's still in the bottom 8, and he has a lot of points to lose, as he has accumulated only 8th place or higher positions so far. But of course, as you said, a lot of people, they might mess up on some of these tracks, and definitely there is plenty of room for error right here, as we are only 6 laps into the into this 4th map right now. Carl Jr. though has a bit of a gap now down into 2nd place, as Spam is currently occupying his 2nd place. A 0.5 of a second advantage going up into this big jump once again, Riolu.
We're coming up to the sculpture once again. It is, I would say, not that difficult to hit this spot. But this landing right here onto the sculpture, back down, this can be pretty crucial. But all of these players are routine enough to make it happen. Spam going out very wide, almost makes contact with the wall on the outside. Loses a little speed, and as I say that, he loses even more speed. So a little bit of a Casus Curse right there for Spam. You all know it, you guys are used to it. Casus Curse is like a weekly practice thing here on the stream on Twitch TV/ManiaPlanet. It is something that we all know. So yeah, sorry for that. So Spam now dropping down to 5th place, but he's still within reach. He can definitely come back, since he definitely showed a very good pace throughout the previous laps. He is coming closer a little bit here to Big Massa. Papu is on 3rd, still holds strong here, which is very nice to see. Scrappy on 2nd, and yeah, actually taking a small glimpse here at our British player Pack, who sees Danik B in front of him, and Pack of course wants to conserve his points. I sadly don't have an overview over the points right now. Maybe you do, Radiance, but I think Pack would also lose a bunch of points right here at this point, if he stays on 9th place, which would be quote-unquote in the red half of the scoreboard, which we sadly can't see due to the server problems. But then again, for those that are maybe new to the format, 9th place or lower will lose all points that they have accumulated beforehand.
Yeah, someone in chat said that Pack right now, he is on a 29-point losing streak that he's going to lose here if he goes into the red positions. And Cap as well with a 5th place in the map number 2, and map number 3 is on the 13th place, so he is going to lose a couple of points as well. Bren in 11th place, not really looking to catch up to anyone, but it is a battle for Pack right now. He really needs to get closer to Danik B and Roland, who seems to have made a mistake as he drops down into the battle for 7th place. It is now, as both him and Danik B are occupying those green spots that Pack really needs.
Exactly, he really wants to be in the green again. He wants to be in the positive part of the scoreboard. Danik B goes for the safe route. I don't know, I guess he touched the wall. And that is a free ticket for Pack into the green part of the scoreboard. Exactly what he wanted. I guess Danik B just decided spontaneously, he noticed in time at least, that he made that mistake and decided to go for the safe approach instead of just yeeting himself into the water with that speed disadvantage that he got after making contact with the wall. So good and bad for Danik B, of course, since he was about to deny Pack some good points. But we go back into the lead right here. It is still Carl Jr., Papu, Massa, and Scrappy. So Massa is actually on a roll, and he wants to make it happen. Massa is now going for the attack on Papu, gets a little bit more speed up the hill, and it is Massa now neck and neck with Papu going into the left-hander right there. Massa with a greater exit, gets more speed out of this one. Massa up to P2. Carl Jr. is 0.7 ahead right now, dropping down onto the platform. Carl Jr. with a very, very far landing to the right, but he is able to stabilize and remains in that first place, and we're coming into the final lap with Massa being 0.63 behind. Papu on P3, still trying to make something happen right here, maybe on the dirt section, tries to get the boost as early as possible, but it's not enough to go for the overtake on the German as of now. Scrappy and Spam are battling it out for position number 4 right here, and then it is Kappa, who is a little bit further behind, most likely not going to play a crucial role here for the remaining of the race. Couple of corners left here. We have the final lap. As I said, this is going to be really, really pressurized right here. The pressure is on for all of the players. It is Scrappy and Spam who are neck and neck. Spam trying to go for a little bit more speed. Scrappy with the inside line, both having the exact same speed. Papu is on third. Massa has slightly gotten away from the French player right now. Massa is now 0.4 behind Carl Jr., so he caught up a little bit to Carl Jr., but it's not quite enough yet to go for an overtake. Carl Jr., not sure if he knows that he's being attacked by Massa right now, but Massa is creeping in closer and closer. Now the final sculpture section right here. Carl Jr. jumping very rotated to the right, gets the auto slide down the sculpture, and it looks like Carl Jr. will remain in front of the German player, even though Massa is coming closer. He has so much speed, and it's only 1500 between Carl Jr. and Massa for P1, for the 20 points, for the 100 euro, but it will be Carl Jr. that stays in front. Massa on second, Papu on third, Scrappy on fourth, Spam on fifth, Kappa on sixth, Pack on seventh, Rollin on eighth, Danik B on 9th, Bits on 10th, Bren with another disappointing 11th place, Dexter on 12th, Dunster about to reach the finish line right here. It is your countryman. He actually gets passed by Cap now. That is an F&a-half right here. So Cap will take 13th instead, in front of Dunster and Machi.
You hate to see it if you're Dunster at this point. Performing really, really unfortunate on this one. He did tell me prior to this step that he has practiced the last map pretty good, and he is going for a 5th to 6th place if he performs as he's done in his practice. So definitely a joker to look out for maybe. But this is pretty much Papu's territory right now as we're coming into a dirt map.
Exactly, this is going to be the final map of our evening. It is a map by Firestorm, it is a dirt player, it is a map called Underpass. This is going to be do or die for the players. This is going to be so intense, Radiance. As we said before, this map is pretty basic. There's not a lot that you can possibly mess up here, so this is going to be really important to keep the composure up high, to keep your head cool, to handle the pressure that is now being put onto your shoulders, especially if you're a player that is fighting for the last remaining spots of the playoffs. Map preview time, T-Tours in the chat. And here we are. Hope you enjoyed the map preview made by Pike. So this is gonna be our final map of the evening. It is a dirt map, and you mostly relate dirt with Papu, right? You say dirt, you think of Papu, because Papu is arguably the best dirt player around right now. However, this map, I wouldn't quite say that Papu is gonna have a really upper hand on this one, because the map is very wide. You have a lot of room to play with. The map is very basic. It is a lot of off-roading. It is not really playing a lot on the actual dirt roads, as we see right now here with the POV of Machi. So there aren't really a lot of like technical turns where Papu can really play with his expertise. But I think on this map the fights are actually going to be pretty close, because everyone has a fair chance since the map is so basic. So as we said before, this one's going to be very, very close, very, very tight. And one mistake, especially here at the identity, where the players need to squeeze themselves through the sculptures and try to avoid hitting them. Yeah, there isn't really a lot that can go wrong, Radiance. So this one, I wouldn't say is a free ticket for Papu, but I'm pretty sure he will be up front.
Yeah, and him taking home a 3rd place on the previous map, so a lot of points maybe in store for Papu now. And he could really use a couple points to maybe secure himself a little bit of a better spot. But it is, of course, a dirt map, so a lot can happen. Carl Jr. and Scrappy also said that they had practiced this map pretty good, so maybe we will see a very close battle between top 3 or maybe even top 4 if there's someone lurking in the shadows that has actually practiced this map pretty good compared to what they're showing off now. It is, of course, going to be very deciding for the overall positions for that top 8 battle, as we said early on. So yeah. I'm definitely ready to see what's in store. And also, can Massa perform on dirt? He really needs some points.
He really needs to, exactly. Massa right now, looking at our local spreadsheet, Massa has a total of 15 points, which is not a lot. He needs more. He definitely needs more. You gotta keep in mind, Step 10 has double points, but Massa needs to get every point that he can. Right now in the lead, I have the scoreboard open that has been created by our Epic community in the Twitch chat. Right now, the 2 leaders are Carl Jr. and Kappa, both with 44 points. Next up is Pack with 34. Then it looks like it is Scrappy with 26. No, Spam with 37, so Spam is 3rd right now. Then we have Pack, then we have Scrappy. Then we have Papu with 21. Then we have... I need to sort everything myself right here in my head. Then we have Massa with 14. Roland with 14. And the rest have 1, 2, 3, or 0. So I hope I didn't miss anyone. I didn't miss anyone.
I don't think you you missed anyone. But yeah, Carl Jr. and Kappa currently in the lead. And I think that the players are... that these two players are going to have a very close battle, because they seem to have been practicing this a lot, and they are pretty good all-around players. So it is going to be an interesting battle right now, as we are gonna go underway with the final map today in step number 9.
This is gonna be a really, really exciting one. I have been looking forward to this one. And Scrappy. The first hit already by Scrappy. I have not seen anyone to make that mistake, so that's a very rare one. Maybe Scrappy just wants to see the field in front of him, if he plays with cars on, of course. But yeah, Scrappy with an early mistake, already 1 second down, which is, on a map like this, actually quite a lot. So let's see what Scrappy is going to be able to pull off. He is experienced on dirt though, so I do believe he's going to come very close to the rest. But a 1 second deficit going into lap 1 is already going to put quite a dent into your confidence. But other than that, everyone looks to be set in stone right here. I'm going to take a closer look at Massa, because as you said earlier, he needs every single point that he can get. The top 9 is within half a second. We are coming towards the first part, or the first time passing the identity. It is Roland that hits his forehead on the sculpture right there. Papu up to first place, very well executed. You have to go for the dirt wallbang, and I think someone got stuck in the wallbang. I think it was Cap or Pack, one of the Gamers Origin players, have gotten stuck in the wall at the actually intended wallbang that you need to do in the dirt downhill.
Yeah, not a lot of people actually going for the wallbang, but it is looking like Papu and Spam does have it figured out the best right now. as they are currently first and second place. Papu, as we expected, he is going to be first right now, but mistakes can happen. Of course, he has choked previously on dirt maps in the TMGL where he hasn't gotten first place. So it is going to be interesting to see in these couple of laps coming up what is going to go down in that identity section, as we are coming up to it once again.
I gotta point out that Dunster is actually doing very well on his home style. Dunster is a dirt player, and right now he actually does show his skills right here. Goes for the wallbang, executes it nicely, and the Danish player is on P4 right now behind Massa, and the players are already quite separate from each other, which is actually kind of the opposite to what I expected to see. So we only have Papu and Spam that are kinda keeping a good pace up front right here. They are 0.4 apart from each other right now. Papu on first and Spam on second. But other than that, the positions are actually very, very spread right there. We see a couple of tiny pack of players right here at some points of the track, but it's not like a giant pile of players, which is what I expected initially, what you also kind of expected initially in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely expected it to be a lot closer than it currently is, but the question that I asked was, can Massa perform on dirt? And currently in third place is Mr. Big Massa, so he definitely knows what he's doing right now, has practiced this map a little more than the others, it seems, as he actually does a small sculpture touch, but nothing too big for him, as he actually stays in third place, even though he had a small mistake. Dunsty not getting the tire mark there, drops him down into fifth place as Carl overtakes him. But it is a great battle between Spam and Papu currently for that first place. Actually, Spam overtook him.
Actually in the lead. Spam from the Netherlands is actually defeating, or he is putting up a fight against Papu right now, the arguably best dirt player in the world right now, being attacked by 2012 world champion from the Netherlands. It is Spam who is going neck and neck against Papu right here into the next off-road section. Papu clips the sculpture on the inside. He can actually be lucky that he did not flip, because that little edge can very well flip your car. So Papu actually being put under pressure by Spam, and Spam will greatly appreciate the lead that he's getting out of this. However, a little bit of a time loss right there for Spam. Papu will come a little bit closer, but we still have 0.5 of a lead for Spam right now. This is also unexpected. Everything is just going the completely different way, Radiance. We're just seeing things that we didn't expect to see.
Yeah, this identity is really messing with some people right now, as we find Pack in 12th place after only having green positions, I believe, so far. He is going to lose a lot of points if this stays like it is right now. But Bren is in 8th place, so a little better performance by him in this on this dirt map right now. Maybe a little more preferenced for him, as Kappa is also in the green points. So good for Kappa as well. Really needs to stay in the top 8 to keep all the points that he's accumulated so far in the step. It would be so huge for him if he could keep them, and currently he is doing a great job. But I think the battle we currently want to be watching is Massa actually makes a mistake. I was about to say the battle between him and Dunsty, because that was really close, but he actually made a mistake, and now it's called Junior and Dunsty actually having a battle for third place, as Spam is just currently pulling away from Papu.
It is actually quite crazy to see that. It is a 0.7 gap between Spam and Papu, and Dunster is actually keeping up with Carl Jr. That is great to see. Dunster may be about to take one of his best placements in the TMGL so far. I think the best position that he had was also on a dirt map somewhere earlier in the season. So Dunster about to get some very juicy points for his account. Now actually about to attack Carl Jr. right here in the uphill corner. Dunster up to P3 right now, and this is actually a great fight. But another name that I'm missing right now is Roland. Roland is only on 9th, and I really expected him to do better, since this is dirt. He is a good dirt player, but I guess his mentality, he is tired. He said that earlier. Maybe some of the maps didn't go the way they should have gone for him, especially the forest. I think really didn't go that way, and also now makes another mistake here in the identity section. So Roland really not doing too well right here. He is on 9th, still keeping himself in front of Pack, but that is certainly not what I would expect right here from Pulse Roland.
No, definitely very unfortunate for him, but he also has a total of 14 points accumulated so far, so he definitely do not want to lose those points now, as his opponent right now, as you could say, Kappa is with 44 and in the green. So you really need to speed up right now if you are rolling, and maybe try go for a more safer approach. Hope for some mistakes in that identity section. But now Papu has caught it back up to Spam.
Yep.
So Spam has thrown away a 0.8 lead. And it is now neck and neck between Pack and Spam. You can see the different lines there. Papu gets a bug on that wall right there, and that shoves him all the way to the left. Now Spam taking home all the time in the world now. Papu actually losing a second from that little wall bug, which is a very rare occurrence, but it can happen. Papu knows this because he is a dirt player, but that is just very, very unlucky for him.
Yeah, that is something that really doesn't happen very often, especially not to someone as routine as Papu, who is doing dirt wallbangs. He came out of his mom's womb and he did dirt wallbangs already. So this is his territory, so very unlucky for Papu right now. He is 1.3 seconds behind Spam right now, and this would be a first place that Spam certainly did not expect to see. So another 100 euro maybe for the Dutch player, who continues to do very, very well right here. He is jumping into the right drop right here, avoids this section. He does this a lot safer. Papu dead! Papu is dead! Papu had to respawn, and he's losing out on multiple positions, even gets passed by Rollin. Dirt Meister Papu has been defeated officially in this race.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it if
you do.
Papu at this point here.
You do.
I believe he was also one of the 8 players that is in for that playoff battle there, and he drops back into 11th place. But now look at all these players having to battle for 2 positions in the top 8 now. Only Massa and Pag right now are currently in for it, but it is a very, very close 5-way battle now, and it is going to be interesting to see who is going to prevail as Spam is coming up into the identity section once again for for the second to final time in this step.
Exactly. We are currently following Danik B, who gives us a good overview over what's happening in front of him. Danik B on P11, but we see Roland, we see Papu, we see Massa, we see Pack, all in front. Roland makes contact with the barrier right there, and also Massa losing out on a lot of speed, loses his gear on the banked sector. Will get passed by Danik B, and Massa with another additional wall touch. This is bad. This is very bad for Massa, because he would lose the 15 points that he has, and this could eliminate his chances to qualify for the playoffs. Massa needs to step it up now, and he needs to hope for a miracle and a half. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to be able to clock out the remaining points that he needs to qualify in the final step. Rollin with a touch will give Massa 1 extra place. So Massa now needs to go for an overtake here on Danik B, but Massa clips the wall on the outside. In the meantime, it is Spam who is about to take victory right here for the final time. He is going through the sculpture part. Spam has defeated everyone, and with that, he is not going to win the step, but he might take 2nd place. Carl Jr. is on 2nd. He is going to win the step. Spam wins map number 5 on 100 euro. Carl Jr. on 2nd.
Cap, actually.
Dunster actually passing Cap at the end. Amazing performance by Dunster on 3rd place. Cap on 4. Papu on 5. Bren on 6. Pack on 7. Danik B on 8. And then we have Kappa on 9th that loses 44 points. That is going to hurt a lot for him. Massa on 10. As we said before, this is most likely gonna eliminate all of his chances to qualify for the playoffs, or at least it's gonna make it very hard for him. Roland, in the meantime, has also rage quit from the server. Understandable after his not so good performance today. Scrappy on 11, also expected a bit more from him here on the dirt track, but it also didn't really start that well for him in first place. Massa and Scrappy leaving the server. They are done with this. Bren is done with it as well. A lot of players leaving, a lot of players disappointing, and the players that are prevailing are gonna be Spam and Carl Jr. that are gonna get a lot of extra points from this.
Yeah, very unfortunate for some of the players losing all of their points on this last map. Notably, it might be Scrappy and Massa. Scrappy losing, I believe it was 26 points, actually, was in the 5th place. Thank you once again for the community keeping it up to date with the points. It's going to be difficult to take note on map number 5 now, because it is over and some people left and we can't see the scores anymore.
But
So
we have the scores right here available. I have the scoreboard here that has been maintained by the community. Thank you very much for giving us the scoreboard. We can quickly take a look at it. Spam wins, actually, by 1 point, Radiance. Spam wins the step by 1 point. I'm gonna put it up here for you onto the monitor. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. So
pretty good second.
We're gonna take a look at the map 5 column right here. So we have Spam that wins the step with 57 points. Carl Jr. on second with 56. Then we have Pack that takes third place with 39 points. Fourth place goes towards Papu, who saves himself with 28 points. Then we have position number 5 that goes to Dunster. So this is his best step so far, which is really nice to see. Dunster that does not give up. And, wait, outdated version? Let me refresh. Ah, beautifully. Now it's even sorted. Thank you. So Dunster with his greatest step. That is really nice to see. And I think you are going to be cheering for that as well, right?
Definitely.
Then we have 6th place that goes to Cap right now. 9 points for him. Bren with 8. Danik B with 7. Kappa with 3. So very unfortunate for Kappa, who had 44 points in his pocket and then lost it all on the dirt. Roland also only with 3. Massa with 2. Scrappy with 2. Bits, Dexter, and Machi. And Zerberse, who of course did not play this time around. So great step for Spam and Carl Jr. So with that, we will have a small change right here in the total standings of the Trackmania Grand League. It will be Carl Jr. that now surpasses the 600 point mark. This is just ridiculous at this point. 603 points for him. Pack will remain on second place, of course, with 404 points. Spam now up to third. He will pass Bren after his very weak step. I'm still a bit surprised about Bren, actually. He really didn't play as well as I would expect him to do. So Bren will get past in the total score. Spam now up to third with 236 points. Bren, as I said, down to fourth with 211. And then we have 5th place that will remain for Kappa. 6th place that will remain for Scrappy. 7th place will go up. Papu will go up to 7th here, from 9th to 7th with his good step. But yeah, a lot of points have been lost in here. A lot of players with very, very low points in this step, Radiance.
Yeah, and that the battle for that 8th place for those 2 spots there, it is currently being occupied by Cap and Papu. So the Gamers Origin players taking advantage of that final map right there. Kappa losing 44 points in that final map. He's definitely going to be a little bit tilted about that. And I don't know if his chances of making it to the playoffs are that good. I think Massa completely died as well on the last map, so I think he's done for this TMGL. But very good effort as well by Massa, only having half the time in order to catch up and almost actually making it. So we got to give props to Massa for that. A pretty good performance by him overall. But of course, there's still step 10, and if Massa takes home all victories, and
yeah,
with those 1.5 times points, I believe it's all the maps.
Double points.
Yeah, is it double points? Double points. So one map could be 40 points wins. So actually, that's a lot of points in. I believe that's 200, right? Quick maths. 200 points to be accumulated if you win all 5 maps in the last step. So definitely possible for Massa if he puts in the time.
Yep.
Definitely also possible for all the other players, but it is going to be a sick battle in this last step.
Exactly. Very well said. So with that, I'm gonna leave you right here. That has been a very, very turbulent session right here with the server problems, with a lot of crazy races. But I hope you guys enjoyed the cast and the races. We will see you next Sunday. It is gonna be the 12th of May 2019, 8 p.m. CEST, for the final step. Step number 10 out of 10. It is going to be the grand finale before we go into the playoffs with the top 8 of the Trackmania Grand League, the 8 champions that will move into the playoffs next Sunday. We will know who these 8 players are. Make sure to not miss out on that. That is going to be an absolute blast. And I hope that I will see all of you around. Thank you, Radiance, of course, for giving us great company this time around. That is greatly appreciated. And without further ado, Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening, whatever you're gonna do, and see you around. Good night.
Take care, guys.